Imagine, in the abyss of the Mariana Trench, scientists met with a mysterious object that defies logic and common sense. This discovery so worried the most courageous researchers that now they do not dare to descend to the bottom of the abyss again. In this video, you will dive into the mysteries of the ocean depths and learn what secrets hide one of the most inaccessible points of the planet. Be ready for a journey that will turn your idea of life on Earth and beyond. In 1996, the New York Times published a sensational story about the diving of equipment from the American scientific vessel Glomar Challenger into the Mariana Trench. The crew members affectionately called the spherical apparatus designed for deep-sea research a hedgehog. Sometime after the start of the dive, instruments recorded an eerie sound resembling the scraping of metal. The apparatus was urgently raised to the surface, and the team was shocked by what they saw. A powerful steel structure was deformed, and a strong steel cable with a diameter of about 8 inches looked as if someone had carefully cut it. There were many explanations for this incident, some claiming that mythical sea monsters were to blame, others suspecting the intervention of extraterrestrial intelligence, and others blaming giant octopuses. However, none of the versions had no convincing evidence, and the whole story remained just a subject of rumors and speculation. There were many explanations for this incident, some claiming that mythical sea monsters were to blame, others suspecting the intervention of extraterrestrial intelligence, and others blaming giant octopuses. However, none of the versions had no convincing evidence, and the whole story remained just a subject of rumors and speculation. The German team reacted quickly and used an electric shock to scare the animal away. The monster swam away and never returned. Unfortunately, the team did not have the equipment to capture this unusual creature. By the late 90s, as rumors of mysterious creatures in the Mariana Trench began to spread among scientists, many legends began to form around the site. Poachers reported strange glows emanating from the depths and mysterious luminous objects moving in the water. Captains of small vessels claimed that their ships suddenly started moving at incredible speeds, as if they were being pulled by something huge. The Mariana Trench is located in the western Pacific Ocean, near the Mariana Islands, just 124 miles away, which is why it got its name. This area is a huge marine reserve and a national monument of the United States, under the strict protection of the state. Fishing and mining are prohibited here, but swimming and enjoying the natural beauty is allowed. In terms of geometry, the Mariana Trench is shaped like a giant crescent, with a length of 1,584 miles and a width of about 43 miles. The deepest point is Challenger's Abyss, having a depth of 36,000 feet. The highest point above sea level is Mount Everest at 29,000 feet. One could argue that this mountain would easily fit inside the Mariana Trench and even leave 6,500 feet of water space between it and the surface of the ocean. Despite the abundance of legends surrounding the Mariana Trench, there are also amazing facts supported by undeniable evidence. So, in 1918 year, Australian lobster hunters reported an encounter with a transparent white fish 98 feet long. The description of this creature is remarkably similar to an ancient member of the megalodon carcass species that lived in the oceans about 2 million years ago. Thanks to preserved fossils, scientists have been able to reconstruct the appearance of this giant shark. Its body was 82 feet long and weighed about 100,000 pounds, and its jaws were armed with jaws 6.5 feet long with teeth up to 4 inches. Imagine these intimidating teeth. And these teeth were recently discovered by oceanologists on the floor of the Pacific Ocean. The youngest of the artifacts is dated to be about 11,000 years old. 11,000 years old. These findings suggest that not all members of the megalodon species disappeared 2 million years ago. Perhaps the waters of the Mariana Trench hold this mysterious animal in their depths. But exploration continues, and the depths of the ocean continue to hold their secrets. The pioneers who dared to sink to the bottom of the earth, as the bottom of the Mariana Trench is called, were American naval officer Don Walsh and explorer Jacques Piccard, who dived on the bathyscaphe Trieste, built in the Italian city of the same name. This massive apparatus, with walls 5 inches thick, 5-inch thick walls, and took 5 hours to sink to the bottom. After reaching the lowest point, the researchers stayed there for only 12 minutes and then immediately began the ascent, which lasted about 3 hours. At the bottom, they found fish like flounder about 1 foot long. The research continued, and in 1995, the Japanese also managed to descend into the depths of the Mariana Trench. Another significant achievement occurred in 2009, when the automatic submersible Nereus made a descent into the deepest point of the planet. This high-tech robot not only took photographs, but also took soil samples, providing scientists with valuable new information. This high-tech robot not only took photographs but also took soil samples, providing scientists with valuable new information. In the 2016 year, the camera of the underwater vehicle Oceanus Explorer found at the bottom of the Mariana Trench many previously unknown creatures, and scientists were shocked by what they saw. So who inhabits the extreme depths? The house shark inhabits the upper floors of the Mariana Trench at depths ranging from 650 to 4,000 feet. The horn on its nose contains ultra-high-frequency cells that allow it to detect prey in deep-sea darkness. The monster's menu is quite varied: fish, crustaceans, mollusks, and other careless inhabitants of the ocean. If the house shark looks relatively familiar to humans, the deep-sea angler is a real monster, and the luminous whisker works as a lure for fish. The fish takes the luminous point for prey, swims up to the mouth of the angler, and is swallowed. There are legends about the voracious udilshchik. The stomach of the creature is able to stretch and hold the prey twice the size of the predator. There's another beast that scientists have determined has been on Earth for 80 million years, called the basking shark, is just maddening to behold. It lives at depths of up to 5,000 feet, grows to 6.5 feet, feeds on cephalopods as well as small sharks and ray-finned fish. Have you ever seen a fish with a transparent head called a barrel-headed fish that lives 5,000 feet below the surface and feeds on zooplankton? It's a harmless fish, but it's terrifying to look at. How many more unsolved mysteries and wonders hides the Mariana Trench? The answer is many. For example, at a depth of 1,350 feet is the volcano Daikoku, which has become another confirmation of the theory of the origin of life in the depths of the ocean. In the crater of this volcano underwater is a unique lake of pure molten sulfur. The temperature in this cauldron reaches 268 degrees Fahrenheit. The only known analog of such a phenomenon on Earth is the lake on Jupiter's satellite Io. Nowhere else on our planet such lakes are not found, so it is not surprising that many hypotheses about the origin of life is associated with this mysterious place in the Pacific Ocean. Let's remember the basics of high school biology. The simplest living things are amoebas, tiny, single-celled organisms. However, giant toxic amoebae up to 4 inches long have been discovered in the Mariana Trench, which means they can be seen with the naked eye. This phenomenon is truly amazing. Scientific research has shown that these amoebae, known as xenophorans, have reached this size by adapting to the harsh conditions at the bottom of the ocean. The cold water, high pressure, and lack of sunlight have helped these unique single-celled organisms grow. Resistant to harmful substances such as uranium, mercury, and lead, they successfully survive in conditions that would destroy any other organisms. In 2012, famed filmmaker James Cameron, creator of the cult film Titanic, traveled to the Mariana Trench, where his deep-sea challenged bathyscaphe was equipped with state-of-the-art equipment and powerful cameras, allowing him to capture the majestic and desolate views of the deep sea. How much time he could have spent exploring the local landscape is unknown, but due to technical problems, Cameron had to abort the dive and resurface with a documentary called The Abyss Challenge, in which he shared his experience of diving into the Mariana Trench. The director described the bottom of this place as the boundary of life. There is an absolute emptiness, silence, and immobility. No sunlight, no plants, no sea creatures. However, this impression is deceptive in the soil samples. Collected by Cameron, more than 200 different microorganisms have been found. The question of how they survive under such immense pressure remains unanswered. Among the inhabitants of the depression was also discovered a shrimp-like amphibolous substance. It was now being tested by scientists as a potential vaccine against Alzheimer's disease. Being in the deepest point of the world, Cameron did not encounter either terrible sea monsters or representatives of extinct species or alien bases, a sense of complete loneliness and isolation from the rest of the world. He compared the ocean floor to the lunar surface, desolate and lonely, a feeling of alienation that cannot be described in words. Although Cameron tried to convey it to the audience in his film, the fact that the Mariana Trench seems so silent and desolate is probably no accident. It is likely that it is carefully guarding its main secret, the secret of the origin of life on Earth.